My peeps, I wanted to share with you something that is very, very important to me. Yesterday, I was having a whole conversation with a friend of mine that has a dream. We've been friends for a few years. And I this friend who has amazing capability, amazing charisma, energy, enthusiasm, but it was not really moving forward with his dream. And I already knew that sometimes he felt misunderstood or didn't have a social support, sometimes. And this has been my own experience in this business. Sometimes people don't understand what you're trying to do. People don't understand your dream, don't understand, or they judge you, or they say, oh, that's not possible, or they sometimes project their fears or their limits onto you. Sometimes they say, oh, this is not your thing, or you're not capable. And, not even you know all of the things you're capable of until you actually put yourself to the task. So, I never had a vulnerable conversation with this person, and I thought he was just distracted, a little bit lazy, unorganized. And then I discovered, no, he was just striving alone. So when you strive alone, your self-doubt, your imposter syndrome, it's like, who am I to do this? Who am I to help people? It eats you alive. And sometimes when you are trying to do something new, you delay because you think you have to have everything figured out before you give yourself permission to start doing something in that area. Has that ever happened to you, that you wait to have all the talent, all the knowledge, all the resources, all the support, all the ability, the strength, the confidence before actually doing the thing, and you keep delaying, you keep procrastinating? And especially with confidence and competency, it just doesn't work like that. Confidence is a reward. When you start, when you allow yourself, especially when you're trying something new, if you allow yourself permission to suck at something new, it's such a game changer. Sometimes all you need, you don't need confidence. What you need is 20 seconds of insane bravery. You need is courage. Courage is a precursor of confidence, because once you allow yourself, you give yourself permission to actually do something, the moment you are trying something, that it's going to give you a little bit of competence, which then gives you a little bit of confidence. And that's how a competence-confidence loop starts. So that confidence allows you to try a little bit more, and then you keep pushing the boundary, and then you are able to gain more competence, more confidence, and so it goes, and you keep moving. So give yourself permission to suck. You can't expect to be perfect at something that you're just starting. And I remember that amazing quote from Zig Ziglar: you don't have to be great to start, but you have to start to become great. So you have to embrace the suck. You have to embrace it. You have to accept that you're not going to be perfect. It's going to be hard. You're going to make a fool out of yourself sometimes, and that is okay. And another thing that I wanted to share with you guys, and this is very important, is sometimes when we want to do big things, even though we have that generous heart, we have that thinking about, okay, I want to contribute, sometimes our vision gets too myopic and we become a little selfish. You know, our ego can play such bad tricks on us. Sometimes we become selfish. We are more concerned, how do I look? Do I know enough? Do I have the talent, the strength, the confidence, before actually doing it? And sometimes we have to put a face or faces connected to that end goal. Who is this going to help? Who needs me? And this was, you know, when your vision and the contribution that you are trying to make is bigger than your insecurities, you move. If your goal is bigger than your ego, you get out of your own way. And one of the things that helped me move forward in this business, which is, you know, being a trainer, a coach, helping people, the pandemic was a big game changer for me, because I had started, you know, but I was like a dabbler. But then once we were in lockdown, there was something that changed within me, because I said, people need me. People need me to be a positive voice in this global crisis. So that's when, you know, I doubled down. I started being present, started doing a lot of things. I started sharing what I knew. That helped me, because in that moment, I wasn't concerned. Do I look enough? Is my hair okay? Are people going to make fun of me? And that made me really apply all the knowledge, everything that I had learned, and it made me better, because you get better once you start getting in front of people. I used to be so scared of being on video with no script. I remember my first presentations, I wouldn't let go of the paper. It was just so difficult. There was so much anxiety and also so much ego. And it was only when I said, who needs me, to overcome my own insecurities, that I started doing a lot of things. So another thing that I have learned with my mentor, Brendon Burchard, is it is very important that everybody around you knows about your dream. And that takes a lot of courage, you know, even the haters, even the doubters, even the people that think you are crazy, everybody around you should know about your dreams, your goals, your mission. And that, of course, it takes a lot of courage, but I can tell you, it's going to benefit you. Because, you know, when you start shouting from the rooftops of life what you want and what you're trying to do, not only that, it helps you to hold boundaries, because once you are sharing your goal, then, you know, when people ask you to do other stuff, then you have some sort of anchor to say, remember that dream I told you about? Yeah, I'm gonna keep focus on that, so I cannot do what you're asking me. So it gives you an opportunity to hold boundaries. And another thing is that, yes, when you start shouting from the rooftops what you want, there's going to be haters, there's going to be people making fun of you, you know, the village idiots are going to come out and make fun of you. But you know who else comes out from the woodwork? The people that are going to support you. Those are, oh, you know, she's trying to do that, let's help her. And, you know, this is something that also helped me at the beginning of this career, is I started sharing with people what I wanted to do. And, you know, which is a trainer, a coach, now I'm also writing. I had, of course, doubters and critics. And my family sucked at it. The people that I thought were going to be supporters, and no. But because I had a great community, I didn't strive alone. And then, a lot of people came out of the woodwork and say, hey, here's how to do this, here's how to do that, here's how to launch a course, here's how to do it, email marketing. Do you know how to do this? Do you know how to do that? And I got a ton of support. And we got into this community of, people that are trying to do similar things. And that was such a game changer. Finding people that are trying to do something similar to what you're trying to do and help each other. And not, because people not only start making a lot of recommendations, but sometimes, yes, you can feel overwhelmed by everything that is happening, but that makes all the difference. Sharing your truth with people. It was scary. It's scary to share your truth, to share your dreams. It's a vulnerable conversation, but you have to overcome that, It's what's going to help you overcome that who I am. Who am I? Who am I to help these people? And, there's already people helping. And every time you hear yourself saying, who am I to do this? It's like, I'm the one. I'm the one. Because sometimes at the beginning of what I'm doing, I also compared myself a lot with, and compare is despair, as Sean Stephenson used to say. And sometimes you compare yourself with people that have just put in the miles, that have been doing that for a long time. And sometimes we make the mistake of comparing our chapter 2 with somebody else's chapter 20. And this was also very important to me, noticing that, well, I just have to put in the miles. And that helped me, that overcoming that who am I, and not comparing. And in that support community, a lot of people, helped me, cheer me on. I kept sharing, and they got behind my mission. And so I'm here. So probably if you got discouraged in the last period, maybe you strove alone for too much, and then you get discouraged so easily. But when you strive with other people, even on the days that you get discouraged, like someone's going to text you or cheer you on, or somebody is going to send you an email, somebody's going to say something encouraging, somebody's going to remind you of your worth, somebody's going to see something that sometimes you don't see. This is what, and that's such a game changer. This is what I was saying before, this friend of mine, amazing capability, amazing charisma, energy. And yet, all that this person sees is, oh, I did that thing wrong. And forget the rest. So sometimes it's going to be that social support, that people that remind you of the value that you have to offer. This is why, I'm a weapon of mass appreciation, because the world has enough critics. So I'm a cheerleader, I'm an encourager, and people have done that for me, and that has helped. So the game changer is start sharing. Some people get it wrong. They think that they have to find the support and people to love you and to get behind your mission to start sharing your truth. It doesn't work like that. It doesn't work backwards. So start sharing. Everybody needs to know what you're trying to do, and get around people that are trying to do similar things. They're going to be a lifesaver on the days that you get discouraged, that you forget your greatness, and that you need somebody there reminding you of all the amazing capabilities. So I hope that serves you, and I'll see you on next Monday for another Mind Jolt Monday.